What is up, YouTube, and welcome to episode 95 of the Chaos Daily. Let's get into it. So, the tail section, almost. The bit here, it didn't print well. I kind of expected it. The orientation that it was in, these side walls are in the perpendicular to the build plate direction, and we all know that when you print 0.5 millimeters perpendicular to the build plate, things get a little bit screwy. So yeah, you can see a bit of the issues in here as well. It's not perfect, but the one that I have printed previously that I dropped and broke, it does have a perfect front end, and there's just enough of either one that I could probably cut this broken bit off here, cut at the same point on here where I cut this, transplant this piece onto this piece. So I think I'm going to do that because I'm running dangerously low on this mix of white and blue. I have no more white and blue. I've got a little bit of blue left, and I've got a bit of gray left, and I've got some tenacious left, but I'm running dangerously low. So either I will have to contact Siraya Tech and get some more resin, which I don't particularly want to do until I've used some of the rest of the resin. I don't want them sending me just 1 or 2 bottles. I usually make sure I get it in a batch so it saves on shipping. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. The rotavator's finished printing an hour or so ago. They've just been in the UV curing chamber, and they came out brilliantly perfect. There was a little bit of issues with the control horns. This one's got some holes in it, and there were some issues on this end here. This flat surface didn't print very well, but functionally they're perfect. All the aero surfaces are good, so I'm happy with these. We can use these. These are good to go. So let's take a look at something. This is all of the tail pieces that I've printed. Well, not all of it. There's more. In the whole process of printing this plane, I've been through a few iterations. There was the first prototypes, that one I dropped, remember, and broke that one. These were the very first V-tail sections, so you can see how I printed them in separate parts and stuck them together. Also had that weird internal structure that just left a whole bunch of resin trapped on the inside. Then we went to these. There was not enough support material. I spaced them out too much. These ones, there's less spacing, but again, we weren't happy with it. This was all before we did the whole internal structure testing that we did. But I want to show you guys something. This bin is full of all my previous attempts. That's how much testing and trial and error I've gone through for this plane so far. This is the bulk of all the work that I've put in, and it just goes to show how much effort has been put into this design and this plane and resin printing a plane. This is not far off from what other people have done for FDM printing. In the early days of 3D printing planes with FDM printers, they went through the bulk of trial and error, the same as this. The majority of this is wing sections. This is where I've had the most trouble, is with printing wings. So it just goes to show any development process requires a great deal of dedication. Multiple different systems and ideas until eventually we came up with this internal lattice structure that ended up being the way to go. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this and let you know, like, this is how much work's actually gone on behind the scenes. I don't record everything. So yeah, there's a good indication of what's been happening here for me to get this to work. So anyways, back on topic. I'm going to do a Frankenstein job with this to get this tail section perfect, because all in all, the rest of it is fine. It was just this nose that didn't print very well. I mean, I could still probably just throw some tape over this and still fly it. It'll still work, but I can quite easily just transplant this nose section onto here. We have rotavators that are perfect, so I'm happy with that. All that's left to print is the V-tails, the uprights. And I'm wondering whether or not I'm gonna have enough resin to do it. So I'm thinking I'm gonna clear my vat out and have to switch to the gray. So yeah, we'll leave it there for today's episode. I just wanted to share with you guys the real depth of what I've undertaken, because it's been a lot of work. It's been a long journey, and like, I've tried to share as much of it with you guys on Twitter or on YouTube as possible, but there's just no way that I can share. Like you saw, the bin is just full of stuff, and it's been like, let's see, we started the Albatross project back in episode 25 of the Chaos Daily, or somewhere around there, and we're nearly to 100. So it's been about 70 episodes, not all dedicated to the Albatross, but it's an episode a day. That's almost 100 days of development on this project to get it to this point, and we are so close. We're just so close. So I'm going to see, maybe I'm going to get in touch with Siraya Tech and get some more resin on the go. For now, I'm just going to print with the resin that I've got and switch to grey when I have to, and we'll see how we go. So I'll leave it there for today's episode. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed. There's a new video coming out on my resin channel today that is going up today, so look out for that. And as always, I've been Chaos, and until next time, expect the unexpected, and I will see you guys later.
And a special thank you to all my patrons that help support the channel. If you would also like to support the channel, there's a link in the description.